Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Crossland. Today I'm actually doing a review over the new Revlon Conceal and Hydrate foundation. Now they also came out with a new concealer, which I also picked up. I have tried the original, and this is my second bottle of the original, called the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage. This one actually states that it is medium full coverage, so this one is going to be a little bit less coverage than the original. Also, I think the colors are a little bit different. I would definitely suggest going into your Ulta and trying on the shades. It's so hard to choose. The first time I bought the original online, I was way off. I bought one way too light, and so I bought my second one closer in my shade. I went in the store and tested them all because they have like testers. And this one says it's F9 and this one is F8, and I feel like the F8 in the Hydrate one is a little bit darker. If you're going to order online, I'd really pay attention to the description on if it's neutral tones or pinky or warm tones. The packaging looks the same at first glance, but it's actually very different. The newer one is skinnier and taller, and the original is a little bit rounder and fatter. And there also is a difference in how much product you get. In the new one you get 0.7 fluid ounces, and in the original you get 0.8, so you're actually getting less product in the new product. One of the biggest newest features that people are apt to see first is now it does have a pump, which kind of makes it super fancy feeling. The old one has a twist off cap and it has a doe foot applicator, which I originally did like because I felt like it was easy to get in my crevices and under my eye to clean up any eyeshadows if I did my eyeshadow first. Now I'm going to check to see how much this retails for. I actually bought it when it was 30% off, so it was a really good deal. Okay, so for the foundation it's $12, and then for the concealer it's $10. I feel like that's the original price too. Yes, the original, no. Okay, so the concealer is more expensive in this version than it is their original version, which I've never tried. The original is only $7 and this one's $10. And it might be because of the things they have in it, but the original foundation is $12 and the new one is $12 as well, but you're getting a little less product. So this says Radiance Foundation with hyaluronic acid. This one says that there are 18 skin tones. I got the shade F8 because it said medium neutral. I don't feel like I really have a yellow undertone, olive, or pink, so I always try to go for just neutral. But it says has been formulated to suit every skin type and tone, but is particularly beneficial for dry skin. With hyaluronic acid, it offers all-day radiance and glow without settling into fine lines or clinging to dry patches. And then it talks about how awesome this new one is. This new bottle. Go shake it up. I'm actually going to pump it out onto my sponge. So that's about what one pump looks like. Let's pray this matches my face, especially since I've gotten more tan on vacation. So I don't know if that was a true whole pump or just we're getting this bottle started whole pump, but I feel like it didn't really go that far. Probably a few more pumps. So let's see. Yeah, I think that was a pretty true pump because that one came out about the same amount of product. This one's supposed to be a neutral undertone, but I feel like it's looking a little more pinky-ish. Looking way more luminous on the skin than the original, and I feel like the original was like too mattifying, but yeah, it's definitely very, very dewy looking, but it doesn't feel too like tacky or anything. It feels like it's kind of drying down, but I have had to use quite a bit of product I feel like I'm gonna need 3 pumps to cover my whole face, not even just to build, but just to cover. I feel like with a sponge it didn't really go very far, so I don't know. You might end up using a lot of product with this, at least for my big face. My nose has been like breaking out and dry and really red since we just got back from Florida. I don't know why, but okay. So if you have really greasy, oily skin, this might be like, do you see how luminous this is? This is way more luminous. I would say the coverage is a little bit less than their original formula as well. I don't think I'm going to cover up my nose just because I'm going to put concealer on there anyways, but the finish is really pretty. I almost feel like it's even a little too luminous for me, and I have pretty dry skin. Like I would feel like I should powder, but it is still like a really pretty natural finish. I don't see it like clinging anywhere on my face, and it's a decent amount of coverage. So let's put on the concealer. Concealer is in the shade C7. I hope I did okay picking shades. I was hoping it'd be a little bit lighter for highlighting, but also not too bright and white. Okay, I think it's okay. So I will note I've never tried the original formula on this concealer. It feels so cooling. It feels good. It feels really cooling, which is nice. Wow, it feels really nice under the eyes, like wake you up. I'm gonna try and put more there to cover up my nose. Problems. Let's start blending, shall we? I feel like a little bit does go a long way. It does seem like we might, like, I've applied foundation and also the concealer to my eyelids, and there is some creasing going on already. So I would definitely suggest powdering to set it, because I don't know if it's going to dry down. I think the foundation is transferring slightly, but it's not like horribly transferring. When I added the concealer, it looks like I have pretty good coverage all around, but nothing completely covered up my nose where I'm having those problems. Yeah, so far I like the finish. Like I said, it's a little bit more dewy, but nothing that some setting powder couldn't fix. It feels really nice on the face. It does feel very hydrating on the face as well. Might put a little bit more there. But I love how cooling the concealer feels. I would think if this foundation has less coverage, that means the concealer might also have less coverage. It does say medium full coverage, and I think the other one, the regular original concealer, is probably just full coverage, so keep that in mind also. So I am going to finish the rest of my makeup upstairs. See how shiny it is though? Like I look like I'm kind of sweating. Still feels a little bit like it's transferring, so I feel like whether you have dry skin or not, this is one you'd want to probably set. I did not powder anywhere except for under my eyes, and then obviously where I put blush, contour, and highlighter. But a place that I'm kind of concerned about without powdering is around my nose, so I think that will really tell us how the concealer and foundation work. Also around my chin area and my mouth on the sidelines, because I did not powder there also, so we will still be able to see how it holds up without powdering as well. All the powders went on very nicely. I love how it blended out so flawlessly. The only thing I didn't like was that I felt like I had to use a lot more product than normal. I felt like I had to use 3 pumps to just get my whole face finished, just because I do feel like maybe if you used a brush you might be able to get away with less product though, because you're kind of smearing it all over your face. So I think we will check in later at the end of the day. I did apply this at about 8 o'clock and it's 8:40 now. So we shall see how it goes. I'll probably just do one check-in at the very end of the day and let you guys see how it's going. But so far I am a big fan. I think the coverage is just good enough. It's not complete full coverage. I would say it's definitely more medium. I didn't try to build it though, so it might be buildable to full coverage. I feel like if it says medium to full coverage, it probably should be able to be built up, but there's absolutely no clinging whatsoever. So I feel like if you have dry skin that this is going to be awesome for you. But I have no clinging at all and I love the finish on it. Yeah, it just, my skin feels really nice and it looks healthy and luminous. So I can't wait to see how it wears throughout the day. So right now it is 3:54. I feel like today was a really hard day on foundation because it's very like hot and humid, and I was outside for probably a few hours here and there, coming in and out, playing with Declan. And also, ever since we got back from Florida, I think since I didn't do such a great job at taking care of my skin because we're on vacation and just like schedules weren't the same with Declan and everything, it became harder to like focus on any skincare whatsoever. So my skin got really bad after going to Florida, and I think it's almost become almost more combination because I feel like I'm very oily in my T-zone more so than I have been. So I don't know what is really going on with that. But I will say after like the first 2 hours, I'll kind of zoom you guys in. Okay, so basically it's almost like completely off my nose, like 100%. It didn't make it at all. And so remember, I also did not powder, so that's important to keep in mind. I would definitely have to powder with this foundation, especially if my skin is at all oily. I feel like the concealer looked really good, and once it was powdered it looked really nice too. And I think the concealer held up longer than the foundation did, honestly, but I also did powder in my eyes, so obviously it's gonna last. I would definitely have to powder my T-zone. I almost feel like everywhere else I put the foundation, like on my chin, has like pretty much rubbed off. My forehead, there's still some foundation. But to be fair, I also like touch, you know, Declan's like face hits mine a lot, or we like give kisses and stuff like that. So what, it's been like 8 hours about. I'm not completely mad at it. I just know that I would have to powder in order to use this, or maybe use a strong primer to help it stay. It really stinks because I do love the way it initially looks. It's a little bit more shiny than I would like it to look initially, but the way it doesn't cling to anything, and I think the coverage is decent for every day. I love all of that. I love how it feels on the skin. I love the applicator, but it doesn't hold up that nicely on areas that you didn't powder or are more oily. So I feel like if you have really oily like T-zone, this is probably not going to hold up for you. But if you have really dry skin, I think it'd be a good one to try for sure. The original one I feel like lasts longer. It is more full coverage, and I feel like it'd be much better for more oily to combination skin tones. Honestly, when they came out with the hydrating one, I was kind of like, I didn't think this one was that drying or anything, but maybe if you have super duper dry skin, maybe it does feel drying. So let me know, have you tried both of them? Which one's your favorite, or do you plan on trying this one? I feel like I will still get use out of it. Maybe if you guys want to see a video of me testing them out side by side, we can do that. Just leave it in the comments down below if that's something you'd be interested in. I will say after applying it, I did see it start to settle into my fine lines under my eye, and that's really the only place. And it also was starting to crease on my eyelid, which isn't normally a problem for me, so it was kind of odd. But once I powdered under my eye, it made all the creases completely go away, and it also set those little creasing on my lid. So it was like no big problem whatsoever. The only way you'd have a problem is if you don't set it. I really like it. I would purchase it again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe if this was helpful to you at all.